Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentlemen. Tony and I are here at Tenaya Creek for the final review of tigersox, at least desert-based tigersox. Creek Geeks LV, I don't know exactly where we're going to be heading with that. I got to be honest with you, I've already shut down the Twitter page. I've been paying very little attention to Facebook of late. I'm not sure where that's headed, but this could in fact be the last time for the Creek Geeks LV to assemble at least the founders of it. So
at least founders of it. I've made some jokes that I could always send out, accept applications for Chris's replacement, interview them, drink their beer. Of course, they have to provide me with beer.
As I say, you don't have to live in. As I've said to people before, you don't have to live in Vegas. You haven't even have to have tried Tenaya Creek's beers. If you feel that you are a Creek geek at heart, you're a Creek geek at heart. And as I firmly believe, once a Creek geek, always a Creek geek. So
this sounds like the Goonies or something.
You know, it is.
Goonies,
it ultimately
Creek
is.
Geeks.
It might not be Creek Geeks LV, but it's the Creek Geeks. So.
Hey, you beer drinkers!
Well, today we are going to be reviewing a Tenaya Creek beer here at the Creek.
A classic Tenaya Creek beer.
A classic Tenaya Creek beer. My favorite porter available here in the Las Vegas market. I can say with all honesty, nobody has offered a better porter than the God of Thunder.
That's a strong praise.
And I cannot tell you what I paid for this bottle. We are going under the assumption that this bottle is either 2016 or 2017. Wasn't Katie leaning a little more towards 2016?
She was leaning toward 2016 because of the lack of wax.
Waxed, exactly. Now this is one of those cellared beers that, if you remember a while back, Tony and I were doing cellared beers. This is the last of them. Basically, the conclusion to which I came with the cellared beers was don't. And in all honesty, that's what Brian told me after it already started the endeavor.
He wrote the book on it.
Don't.
One page.
And
don't.
Very simple. Just the description of this beer, I'm going to read to you real quickly. God of Thunder requires but one sacrifice before granting access to its dark and multi depths. All thou needs to do is sacrifice one bottle cap to the rubbish bin as the lager pours. Clouds of darkness fold into the glass void, awakening a light body and crisp finish. Thank thou for the sacrifice. 9% ABV on this.
I dig I've always loved the art on the label of this beer.
It is cool, yeah.
It's got kind of a gothic, I don't know, just kind of a macabre kind of gothic thing going on.
Exactly. The guy's carrying an axe. Andy has a quiver of arrows, and as well as he's just carrying this goat for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like he's just battled, scarred and worn down, and life's been real cruel.
But for some reason, he's taking care of a goat.
Yeah.
That's his sensitive side.
It's his emotional support animal as he kills people.
Just so you know, at the time of this recording, the regular God of Thunder is not available on draft. However, they have a barrel aged from 2019 that is available on draft, and so that's what's available. Obviously, you're not going to be able to find this one unless perhaps they have some cellared in the back or something, and they're going to release it for an anniversary
I'm not
party.
sure about that part.
Who knows what they might do here. Those crazy guys at Tenaya Creek.
Those crazy guys at Tenaya Creek.
There
goes one of them. Get him. This is a beer that comes in and out of the lineup, the rotation, pretty frequently.
Yeah.
So odds are, if you come by here and you don't see it available, you will not have to wait long before it returns. So.
And considering I have actually seen Tenaya Creek beers available as far north as Puget Sound, I'm willing to bet that at some point I might even be able to get this, or at the very least talk to one of my bottle shops in Portland and ask them, could you talk to the supplier and make sure that they could get some bottles of this brought up the next time around. So it is regularly available, and you don't necessarily have to live in Vegas in order to be able to get this.
Right. So. Another thing they do that I should mention is they'll take this beer and they'll play with it a lot. And it's a series of beers called the Offline Series. And in that, they'll take a beer like this and commonly inject vanilla or
coconut is a very
coconut, right?
Done with
or
some degree of
coffee nibs or any number of little additives. So a lot of times you'll have the option of buying this beer on draft as is, the classic true version, and then the Offline Series. So
one more quick beer fact: remember that all stouts are porters, but not all porters are stouts. So porter came first, stout came later. And stout is a variety that
I wouldn't even have thought to bring that up.
And
all right.
the other thing is that porters got their
crack it
name
up.
because apparently the steamivores in England had a particular fondness for this particular beer. So that's how they got their name.
Did we mention 9% ABV?
I believe I did after I read that, but if I didn't, 9% ABV, which means that it's high end, but not extremely high end. You know?
Oh yeah, there's porters out there that definitely seek out to hit double digits and usually have no problem doing it. So I'm gonna open her up. Boy, man, you get that. Do you smell that right away? This lid's not even off yet, and I'm already.
Catch it.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not picked up the aroma.
It's like a blast of air just came right toward me.
I made the mistake of pouring last time. When you've got somebody who can pour as well as Tony does.
Well, it was a small.
Well, it's true, but still.
You aren't
honestly,
pouring
when you
22
got
ounces there. But the nose is just
oh wow, very
irresistible.
Boozy. Very boozy, and I'd say even molassesy is what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah.
Very sugary.
Almost get like peanuts for some reason. Maybe I'm having a stroke.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is one of the backbone beers of Tenaya. They also make a fantastic imperial stout. You might recognize it. The label has a skull of a like a ram.
Antelope, or, I
think it's a ram.
Like a ram, yeah, you're right.
Goat or some kind.
Exactly, some horned animals. Skull.
And the same thing with the stout. They produce a lot of spin-offs of it too. So yeah, so God of Thunder. There you go.
All right, now that we got it in our glass, let's give it a whiff and see.
A very fragrant beer. You really don't have to pull in a lot of air to get this really, really up your nose.
Super malty, super duper maltiness.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even it's almost like I said, molasses is what I'm thinking of.
Very much so. Yeah, for sure.
And booziness. Although the booziness, I gotta say, now that the air has hit it, is kind of waning.
I'm getting a little bit of caramel. Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. Yes, caramel.
I don't want to scare people away with black licorice because I can't stand black licorice, but you might even get people to.
At least there's an Anish fragrance to it.
That's a better that's a better word actually.
Well, shall we?
Yeah. Why not? It's the last review.
It's the last review. At least here in Vegas.
Cheers. Of course, this is a beer we've had many, many, many times. It's more roasty than I remember. Maybe that's just because of the fact that it's 4 years old.
Exactly.
Which is great. It's just such a nice, warming, roasty beer.
I don't know about you, but I got to say that of all the cellar beers that we had, this is probably my
solid.
favorite. I'm glad this is, because we've had some, let's face it, some bad cellared beers. Even that 120-minute IPA turned out to be much more barley wine than you cared for.
Then I guess you tip your hat to the original
to the brewers.
product. I mean,
exactly.
It wasn't going to turn out this well if it hadn't started out well. So the vanilla, I'm getting like baking vanilla on it, on the tongue a little bit there. It's very rich.
The black licorice you were talking about, though, on the tongue. There's just the hint of it.
Yeah, it's
not to say it's a licorice flavored beer. I would not call it that, but I would say that it is exactly. It's a kiss. There's cocoa in it. There's the baking vanilla, like Tony mentioned.
I think we just named 7 or 8 possible
molasses
things we're picking up on brown sugar, caramel. It's complex. I agree with you. It's really hard to find a better porter in Vegas. Not everybody makes one, first of all, unless it's the dead of winter.
Yeah.
But this beer kind of tends to ignore the calendar. I've seen this beer available in spring.
You're absolutely right. Right in the heat of summer, I've seen this beer available. So, and it's also a matter of like Tony said, they mess with it. So if it takes a while to finish, they're going to age it however long with this particular agent, then that means that by the time it's finished being aged, it's August. Cool, bring it out in August and drink it. So
I think it's hard to have and this is a very big seller for them too. I know that from just being friends with a couple of people that work here. This is one of their largest sellers. In fact, Anthony, who just walked by here, had on the sweatshirt.
Oh, did he? I noticed the God of Thunder, yeah.
So that's another option. You could come here and get actually some pretty cool clothing that has this design on it too. So yeah.
Well, guys, as
tigersox.
I know we mentioned in the last one. I know I've been sort of negligent in doing the regular reviews. I've been trying to get moved. I'm getting up to the Pacific Northwest. I'm hoping that at the very least I can get Tony to come visit. At which time we'll do another tigersox video. That's why I'm saying we're doing the last tigersox here in Vegas, and I am making that important distinction.
Some people are going to say, "Well, just go to Zoom and do it that way," and I'm like, "Yeah, but then you don't really." I mean, we're always sharing bottles. I mean,
exactly.
It's going to be kind of, unless we review beers that are just nationally available, how are we going to be sitting and drinking the same beer?
That might be,
unless I'm shipping, then we're going to start shipping things to each other, and like, who's paying for all this?
Exactly. Are you going to pay for this?
GoFundMe.
I didn't think so.
Let's start a GoFundMe to keep this tigersox going. Well, I want to thank you for, we've been doing these reviews now for, of course, we do have long gaps in between.
We do, but
sometimes we bang them out. We get like,
we do, yeah.
We got a good thing going there for a while, and then someone has crappy health, or
goes and has a heart attack like an asshole.
someone has selfish bad health, and then doesn't want to review beer with me.
Or somebody's house malfunctions, and you can't.
We've both lost parents this year, so it's kind of like there's just been one thing right after another in 2020, as so many other people have had. But yeah, we've had a lot of course, COVID obviously is a big part of it too. So we've had long gaps. But when we were in the garage, I don't know, what did we start 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah. When I got back from Washington.
I think the first tigersox was in my garage, so that would have been April of 2016 when we moved into that house. So I don't think we filmed any in my previous address.
And we moved back in August of 2016, honey?
15.
August of 2015. So yeah.
So basically, this started in the spring of 2016. So we're 4.5 years basically of pumping these things out. So I'm going to very much miss you.
I want to miss you, my man.
You have changed
best
my life.
man at my wedding.
Oh,
so,
that's
what can I say?
It's all a blur.
He's not just some guy I drink beer with. But.
Yeah, that was quite the honor. And we want to thank all of you. You've been awesome and complimentary and suggestive of ideas and receptive and welcoming and all those other.
We do indeed, and I'm hoping to take this whole channel to new and exciting places in the Pacific Northwest. And eventually, if I can get my accountants to figure out how to pay for it, we'll have business expenses when we fly Tony up to review beers with me.
Yeah, I'm on a business trip.
Exactly.
Let's see if that ever happens.
The Puget Sound. Well, guys.
And thanks to Nancy too.
Thanks again to Nancy.
She's the camera lady.
Nancy's been doing the camera for us.
Hand gestures.
Doing some of
middle
those
fingers. Some of this.
Doing some of those graphics that you see in some of the videos, and we're going to be trying to work harder on that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
really am a fan of her added graphics.
Well,
thank you guys.
Thank you much. We're going to be signing off.
And farewell to tigersox for now.
Cheers.
Cheers.